All right, everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of For the City. So, I'm your host, Francisco, and my co host is
Illustrious Chef Boy Ortiz.
the illustrious.
The illustrious.
Yeah. So, we're going to get into this past week's travesty on both teams. First and foremost, let's get the Giants out of the way before we get going with the Browns, because there's a lot to unpack when it comes to the Browns. There's too many moving parts with the Browns. With the Giants, we knew what was going to happen. My score was actually pretty close to actually what I called. They scored 11 points, so they surprised me by scoring one more point than they did. But they gave up, I believe it was 35 or 38 points to LA. And the last two games, do you realize they've given up 75 points? 75 points in their last two games against opponents.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't have Saquon. Daniel Jones is throwing picks again. The team is a wreck, man. They had no life in that game. I was surprised that they even scored, to be honest with you, in that game. It just didn't seem. It's just lackluster, man. The season's officially. I should be wearing black right now because the season's officially dead. There's no way, shape, or form that this team is going to even rise above 5 wins. Right now, they're sitting at 5th in the NFL draft, and they have the 5th and the 17th pick, I believe, of the draft right now because of the trades that they made last year. This year in the draft. So right now, that's where they're sitting. The only hope for the Giants is they need to have a fire sale. They need to have a fire sale. Start getting off pieces. It's going to hurt to get rid of Peppers, but Peppers to me is one of the pieces that you can offload because he's played basically 80% of the snaps this year for the team. You can get something for him. They made a trade for a corner. For what reason, I have no idea, because the team can't score points. Like, the corner's not going to help you score. You know what I mean? But
Right.
their defense is nowhere to be found. Except Leonard Williams, he shows up every game. So the guy's getting double team, triple team. There's not really much he can do. He doesn't have any help on the other side of the ball. We have no running game. Honestly, they have 2 more games before they get their bye week, and we'll talk about it later though for our final thoughts. But it's not going to end well for them. So, what were your thoughts on the game?
No, man. It's unfortunate, man. Like I said, you guys lost Tony on that first drive. It's looking a lot. It's very similar. Our teams, unfortunately, are very similar in the fact that apparently nobody can stay healthy on any of our teams. Our offensive linemen are dropping like flies. Our receivers are dropping. It's pretty bad. I was looking at the numbers and stuff. I was close to what I said too. They picked up that late garbage touchdown at the end of the game, but when I saw it was like 38-3, I'm like, ooh-wee. I was like, I was pretty close on that. I knew Aaron Donald was going to wreck shop, and you're right. They can't stop anybody. They can't score with that kind of formula. Is definitely not going to lead to any victories. I wouldn't say the door is completely shut. With the injuries and stuff, it's pretty it's looking pretty bleak. You know what I'm saying? But the NFC as a whole doesn't look too strong. But just going back to the game itself, Jones was 29 of 51 for 242. Stafford was 251 with 4 TDs. They had a pick in the game. Like I said, they can't stop anybody, man. If it's not, they're getting a little pressure up front, but the secondary is looking terrible. People are just dropping bombs on them left and right. And like you said, with Pepper was injured the week before. This was like his first week back. So when your best defender is coming in nicked up coming into the game nicked up like that too, that's not going to help you at all too. So we both didn't expect much. We thought this was going to be pretty much a blowout, which it turned
100%.
out to be. And you're going up against one of the best teams in the NFC. So that being said, I think there's not really much good takeaway from it, man. Jones played a little better. He looked a little better. He threw the ball 51 times. So
but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
A lot of those yards mean nothing if you can't score touchdowns with those yards. I don't care how many yards you put up. You're not scoring points. You can put up 400 yards in a game and still get blown out by 30. You're not putting up points. It doesn't matter to me. Like, everybody go, look at this. His statistics doesn't mean anything. He's not winning. He's not scoring. A lot of that. Now, don't get me wrong. The Giants have a lot of injuries, man. They are, at least they have a win. Like, I think they were going to win one other game, and I'm crossing my fingers that it's the one game that I have an idea that they might win is going to be against Miami. That's probably the only game I see for the rest of the season them trying to pull off. I'm a Giants fan. I don't want them to lose, but it's frustrating, man. I have no hope for them this year. It's a wrap.
I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I mean the Panthers game that we're going to go over today, I think Vegas right now has it as a 3-point game with Carolina taking it. So that's a close game, man. 3 points. And like I said, we'll go over that in a minute here. But yeah, man, it's just, like you said, that game kind of went the way everybody expected it to go. Obviously losing Tony is huge. You don't want to lose that dude. I mean, you already are thin with what's his name? Not Galloway. Galloway being out. So, I mean, what much can you say? You pretty much summed it up, man.
Yeah, that game was a travesty on every level. It's not even. Let's put it behind us and let's see what's. I mean, it's going to be a travesty the next 2 weeks too, but let's put it behind us and concentrate on the next game. So let's shift gears now. Let's go over to the Browns. I mean, there's so much to unpack here with Cleveland. You guys got the doors blown off for you by Arizona. I mean, that game wasn't even close. At the end of the day, the only reason you guys scored 14 is because Baker had that Hail Mary for that touchdown. It should have been they should have only scored 7 in that game the way that game was going. What I don't understand is this dude is playing on one arm. He's literally playing on one arm. He's gutting it out, and I give him all the credit in the world. But at the same time, I think it's hurting the ball club. The fact that you guys got injuries everywhere. Now, you guys literally got injuries everywhere. What were the key takeaways for you in that loss?
I mean, there was a few things. I mean, just looking at the numbers, and this is what's a little bit like I watched that game twice. I watched it once and I replayed and watched it again. The biggest thing, I mean, like you look at the numbers, Murray had 229 yards and 4 touchdowns. Baker had 234 and 2 touchdowns. So we had more passing yards. We had, less scores, but he had 3 turnovers. The biggest thing that I got started right here was 2 things. The Carolina was 8 for 15 on third down, 8 for 15. So they were more than 50% on third down, which is you're basically saying that just like the week before. Yeah, Arizona, I'm sorry, was 8 for 15. So, they're going to go for it just like San Diego was. They were 1 for 1 on fourth down. And then the penalties, man. Again, I hate being that Homer fan. I hate saying the referees this, the referees that. But it reared his ugly head up again, man, in the most opportune spots on third down. But don't get me wrong. First series, 3rd and 21, we give up a touchdown in the corner to Kirk. Like, what are you doing? Like, the secondary needs to get their stuff together. That is unexcusable. We backed them up. It's 3rd and 21, and then you let this dude throw a touchdown pass on you. So that was a blow. But there was there were what was it? 5 for 45 for Arizona. We were 9 for 88. So obviously 9 penalties. The referees apparently just like throwing flags against us for some reason. There was that, again, atrocious roughing the passer call on Murray where, I think it was McKinley pushed him in the back or something. Got pushed and pushed him, and they called it on us. I mean, there was so many things, man, that game. But bringing it back down to the actual team itself and their losses, I mean, the things that they did. Secondary played like trash. The D-line didn't get any push. We only had I think 1 or 2 sacks. I think we only had 1 sack with Clowney getting that sack. Maybe it was 2. Garrett, man, he's got to do better than that, man. You got to be better than 1 sack a game and then don't hear your number called again. I mean, it's just if it's one or the other, you know what I'm saying? Like the front line's not playing good, the secondary is playing like trash. We've given up I don't know how many points in the last 2 games. So I can't understand it. And as far as Baker goes, you're right, man. Baker need to get sat down, man. I mean, it's already done. I mean, it's a done deal. He's already not playing this week. But yeah, man. I mean, the dude is a warrior. He tried to tough it out. He's trying to play for the city. But I mean, he had a fully torn left shoulder, man. I mean, your labrum is completely torn, so his arm can pop out at any time. So holding on to the ball, obviously, that could contribute to those fumbles. His arm isn't as strong as it would be. So there's a lot of factors, man. Like I said, I'm not going to beat down on Baker anymore. That ship has sailed already. We got Keenum coming in next week. So it was just an awful game, man. And it's unfortunately, hopefully this isn't the turning point for the worse, man. This next game is gonna say a lot about us.
Well, it was a plethora of unfortunate events for you guys. You guys are coming in against one of the hottest teams in the NFL, undefeated. Playing lights out against everybody in the league. Nobody expected Arizona to be where they are, period. So it was just a buzz off for you guys. You're playing with a quarterback that is playing with one arm. You have guys got injuries. It wasn't meant to be. You guys are sitting right now at 3-3. You're a 500 ball club right now. Within the division, the only really contender you have to worry about is going to be Baltimore. So you guys, if the ship can get righted, you guys have an opportunity to get back into the playoffs. But it's all going to boil down to defense and your quarterback, man. If Case Keenum can come in and clean up after Baker and use those weapons that he has, because Case Keenum did play well under Stefanski in Minnesota. So I'm assuming Stefanski he is going, and this is what's going to aggravate me about Stefanski. What he's going to do is he's going to shape that game to work in Case Keenum's favor, to favor his strengths. Something that he doesn't do for Baker like he should, but I guarantee you he's going to do it with Case Keenum.
Yeah. I think the team is confident in that. But like you said, is it enough? His familiarity with the offense is there. He hasn't played in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't seen real game action in 2 years. So I'm sure there's going to be rust. And then he's only got 2 days to practice with the first teamers. But the bright side is all the first teamers are out. So everybody's playing with are all second teamers, the second teamer running back, the second team receivers. Everybody who's there is basically who he was running reps with in minicamp and before the season started. So in that aspect, I guess that's not bad. You know what I'm saying? So
let's shift gears. Let's move into tomorrow's game. So since you guys are playing first, you guys have Thursday night game tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be you guys versus Denver. Denver's playing okay. Their defense is solid. They're not the best team in the league, but their defense is solid. They're going up against a quarterback who hasn't seen the field in 2 years. You're going up against a team. The Browns are going up against a team that can actually stop the run, a sack machine. The issue comes in for you guys is how are you going to find that balance? Because both your running backs out for that game. Odell's out for that game. Mayfield's out for that game. Landry might be coming back, but there's no guarantee on that. You have Donovan Peoples-Jones still. You have Njoku still playing. Your defense, if your defense can step up and make some stops, but you can't make this dude like the Giants did, make him look like Joe Montana in this game.
Right.
Teddy Bridgewater, you can't make him look like that in this game. You got to be able to stop the guy. So where do you see this game going? What do you see? What are the keys to this game for you? And what do you think the final score is going to be?
So just looking at some of the numbers, like you were saying, some of Denver's strengths, they're ranked 4th overall in the defense, 6th against the rush. So running the ball may not be, obviously we're missing our 2 best running backs. We're missing 2 of our starting tackles. Running the ball, and that's kind of what I think dictated the play calling for the Browns this past week. They came out in 5 wide the first 2 series. They spread it out. And I get it. Part of it was trying to get Baker going and throw the ball, but I think it also was trying to protect the fact that we don't have any tackles, man. We got 2 backup tackles playing right now. So running the ball is going to be tough, man. Tough sledding. Again, Denver's pass defense, they're ranked 11th in the pass. So, they got a strong defense, man. And really, like you said, this is going to have to be old school AFC North in the mud. Hopefully it's raining. It's cold. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. We need to just get as level a playing field as we can and just gut it out with defense, man. Our defense is still, even after these terrible performances we've had, man, we're still a 2nd overall ranked defense, man, as far as total yardage. We're not giving up a lot of yards. We're not giving up, you know what I'm saying? Teams aren't doing whatever they want except for that Chargers game. It's just these 1 or 2 broken plays, man. We got to get the communication together. And I don't know how we're going to do that on a short notice, man. I just, my keys to victory, man, just what I put down here, don't turn the ball over. Obviously 3 turnovers is not going to cut it. We can't turn the ball over at all. That's going to be the worst part. Again, we've only lost one game when we haven't turned the ball over. That was that previous week again against the Chargers. But if we don't turn the ball over, I think we can win. Get off the field on third down, man. Our third down defense has been terrible. I don't know if it's Joe Woods play calling. I don't know, what it is about us, but third down, got to get off the field. And then D-line's got to get pressure, man. Again, you guys are supposed to be like the crown jewel of our defense. We got one of the best defensive fronts in the NFL, and for the most part, they're all healthy. So we should be getting some pressure on the quarterback. If we can get those three things to go through, I think we can gut it out. I would say score of the game 17-10 Browns. Okay. I think we can gut it out and just keep it a low scoring game. And my player to watch would be Miles, man. Miles. You're the man now. Baker's gone. Jarvis is down. Miles is the captain of the team right now, man. And he's got to lead by example, man. He's got to have another 4-sack game like he did against Chicago.
So I sat back and I thought about this and thought about the game. You guys giving up a lot of points the last couple of games, period. You guys giving up a ton of points on defense the last couple of games. My prediction for this game is Browns are going to lose this game. It's just me. I've only picked against the Browns, I think maybe once. No, I don't think I've picked against the Browns at all this season so far. This is gonna be my first pick against the Browns. I think they're gonna lose. There's a storied history between the Browns and the Broncos. So there's a lot of there's history there. Yeah. The problem is gonna be you have Case Keenum. Now, if Case Keenum, he's the key to the game for me. If Case Keenum can get hot and he can spread that ball around, and the problem is you have no run game. You really don't have any run game right now for this week. So the problem is Case Keenum's going to have to throw that ball 50 times in this game. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. He's going to have to toss that rock 50 times. So my keys of the game is Case Keenum has to get hot. He has to spread the ball. You guys got to establish some type of run game in it. But I honestly think they're going to lose. I think they're going to give up another, 27. I think it's going to be 27-21. They keep it close. They're just not going to have enough to stop Denver at this point, because look, I'm going based off what they've done the last couple games. They've given up over 30 points the last two games. That trend don't seem to be slowing down now that your offense can't score. You understand where I'm coming from? Your offense didn't score last game.
I will say, the two teams that we played were the Chargers and the Cardinals. The Cardinals were the number one offense in the NFL. So, I expected them to put up points, and the Chargers I expect to pull up points. Now, Denver's offense, again, I don't think they're a juggernaut. Now, we can make any quarterback look good if we letting people run down the field wide open on 40-yard passes. So, like I said, Vegas has us as a 3-point or 2-point favorite now. It was a 7-point favorite until all these injuries start happening. Yeah. Now, I don't fault anybody. Me even coming into this game, I'm looking at it from different angles and stuff like that. My initial reaction was, we're going to lose this game. We got too many injuries, too many spots we're missing. I just think, like I said, Miles got to earn his paycheck again. He's got to step up and be a captain. If we can sack him like we were sacking what's his name over at Chicago, Fields, then I think we'd be able to pull it out. But I respect it, man. You can't. Don't apologize for betting against them, because Vegas had us as favorites against the Cardinals, and you see what happened with that. Yeah. So we'll see what happened.
So let's shift over. This is going to be quick. The Giants play Carolina. Giants are going to be at home. They play Carolina in that game. Carolina still has one of the best defenses in the league. They had a tough break, last couple games that they played. My thing is Giants are not going to put up enough points against that offense and that defense. They're going to score another 10. I don't foresee them doing anything more than 10 points, and maybe 12, 13 if they kick a field goal here and there. Their offense is putrid. They have nothing. They're not showing me anything. They haven't shown me anything. Like I said, the Giants are going to average 10 points probably the rest of the season. That game is going to be a blowout. I honestly believe Carolina is going to put 30 on them, and it's going to be 30-10. I don't see a fight in the Giants. I don't know if the locker room's lost. I don't think the locker room is lost. I just think Gettleman hasn't done his job to give them a better offensive line. When your receivers are dropping balls too, it doesn't help. But there's not really much else to say. It's going to be another loss for the Giants. They're going to go into their break losing the next three.
What do you think they would have to do to win the game? Like, what do you think?
I mean, what
Like,
is
you
it?
don't
They
think
have to score.
yeah,
There's no other way. There's nothing else they can do. To me, it's to the point now where I can't even give you predictions on what they have to do. They have to
yeah,
score. I mean, they have to score. I mean, that's what it comes down to. To me, is score. So even if Carolina puts up, let's say, 24 points, if you can't keep up and you can't score and let your defense do what it did against New Orleans, which was shut them down in the fourth quarter to give you an opportunity to take it into overtime to win, it's a wrap. If you cannot score points, you are going to lose the game. There's no rebuttal for me to say, hey, this is my dark horse. This and that. That went out the window. That went out the window already.
yeah.
I'm done with it. It's there's no, unless they show me something, putting these games together in a row, bro. It's gonna be the same thing every week. To me, they just need to shut it all down. You know what I'm saying? Shut it all down. I think they rushed Jones back too fast. They said to shut him out for at least another week to get his head together. Saquon's out. Tony's out. You know what I mean? You have no one. You have no one. So that's my prediction. My prediction is going to be 30 to probably 13. That's my prediction for the game.
Well, I'm gonna be a ray of sunshine for you for your job. I'm gonna play devil's advocate, maybe give you a little something positive. I was looking at some things here and looking up some numbers and stuff. So, this is the return of Sam Darnold to MetLife. You know what I'm saying? So he was over there with the Jets and he's coming back there. So Carolina has done kind of like we did. They started off hot. I mean, they won their first 3 games and they've lost 3 in a row.
3 in a row, yeah.
So now, also coming into this game, Darnold's thrown 6 interceptions in the last 3 games. 6. He's been turning the ball over, man. He's been going back to the Sam Darnold that got kicked out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, my key to victory is you got to get some turnovers, man. If Peppers can come in, and he's my key to the game as far as like my player to watch is Peppers. If you guys can get some picks, and the key to that is my other key to the victory is score quickly. If you guys can get up early, score first, if you can score first and make them, get out of their game plan and start throwing the ball, I think Sam Darnold can throw some picks and keep you in the game. Now, I'm not saying they're gonna win the game. I'm just saying they can keep them in the game. So with his inconsistency lately and the fact that, I mean, Carolina's hurting too. McCaffrey's gone, so I mean, it's not like they're playing a fully healthy, fully loaded, Carolina team that was in the first half of the season. Also, Vegas, man. Vegas has the Giants as 3-point favorites right now, man.
Yeah.
So a lot of times Vegas knows things we don't know, but I just think it's a home game. Again, if they can get Sam to turn the ball over a little bit, it'll keep them in the game. Now, that being said, my final score, I still have them losing. Unfortunately, I think I got them losing like I'd say 20-14. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I don't think they're going to give up a lot of points. I think when an NFL team is having that happen to them like they did, like it's 2 ways they can take it. They get injuries and adversity, they play better. I mean, that's how they did against the Saints. They had that terrible game. They came back. We did the opposite. We had injuries and stuff, played like crap the next game. So I think New York, I think, has a little bit of a stronger backbone. I don't know what you want to call it. I think they'll come back tough and try to gut this one out to keep it close. But I still think that Carolina's going to pull it out. I'd say about 20-14.
I appreciate the optimism, but it's foolhardy. It's folly, bro. It's straight folly. You're overestimating the Giants' ability to actually put up a fight this season. Last year, I was diehard Giants fans. I'm gonna be a fan through and through. I'm gonna stick with them through and through, but I'm being realistic. I'm always gonna root for them whether they're losing or not losing. But to be realistic with you, I just don't see them having a chance the rest of the season, maybe against one team. And we talked about that before the show, was Miami. That's the only other game I can see them maybe eking out. You know what I mean? And if everybody's healthy, because by then you should have Saquon back. You know what I mean? You should have some of your receivers back. People should be back on the field at that point, so you might have a shot of winning that game. I just don't see it, man. So listen, before we wrap up, situation with Baker. Now, do you want them to shut him down for the rest of the year? Let him have his surgery now. That way he's rehabbing for the rest of the year. That way he can be ready for camp at the beginning of the season next year?
No, just because
it's torn labrum, man.
I know. They say like it can't get any worse. It's as bad as it's gonna be right now. It's just a matter of like the inflammation and everything and the pain tolerance. I honestly though, I would say give him about 3 weeks. These next 3 weeks, these games are not. I mean, they're all, I would say, winnable, but they can beat Denver. I think Pittsburgh's offense is trash. As long as our defense is healthy, I think we can beat them. And then to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's going to be our probably next toughest game. I think Pittsburgh, we should roll. So if Keenum can get us over the hump, if we can go 2-1, win 2 of these next 3 games and keep us, around 500, and then what I'm saying, then let Baker get about those 3 weeks of full, 3 full weeks of healing. I think I just don't want to give up on the season just yet, man. I mean, it's looking bad right now with Chubb being hurt, Kareem being hurt. But if we can get Kareem back in 3 weeks, we get Baker back in 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I think we still can win. I think we just got too much talent, man, to chalk up the season. I mean, Keenum isn't throwing in the towel, but if you had a way to tell me, if you could tell me right now, we could sit him for the rest of the regular season and have him back for the playoffs, then I'd be cool with that. But then, there's no guarantee we'll make it to the playoffs.
You need to make a move. You need to off Odell. You need to get rid of him. The dude is a walking injury. He's a walking injury, bro.
Oh my God.
He's a walking injury, bro. Like, and don't get me wrong, there's teams that'll give you top-notch dollars for him. You know what I mean? A team like Green Bay, they could use they can use Odell Beckham. Are you kidding me? You can probably
an interesting one. I saw one talking about him going to the Niners for either Garoppolo, I think, or something like that. I think it was Garoppolo.
Why Garoppolo? He's another walking injury. Why would you trade one walking injury for another one? It makes no sense.
Right. But I mean, like,
the entire purpose.
To me, that's what it has to, like, if we're going to get rid of Odell, and mind you, man, like I was joking around with you before and a couple of my other friends, that dude must have pissed off the gods. He must have slept with somebody's wife. He got so much bad karma. I mean, it's terrible. He must have stepped on every crack and black cat and passed it. Like, dude, man.
Well, you
cannot
people,
get that injury.
And don't get me wrong, man. Odell's ultra talented, but you have people who go through their whole NFL career and can't stay healthy. You've seen flashes how brilliant he could be on the field. Look at Flash Gordon. Look at Gordon. Gordon could have been the Browns' greatest receiver ever in franchise history, but he couldn't lay off the weed for a while. You understand where I'm from? Now he's, now the NFL changed their stance on that stuff when it comes to some of that stuff. But regardless, like he threw away 4 or 5 years of his career easily from doing that stuff. I know the time.
There's so many players I could think of in all different sports where, like you said, the injury stuff just, I mean, it's sad, man, when somebody with that much talent just can't stay healthy, man. And it's just the way it happens. Football is such a tough thing because it's not a lot of games. Baseball, basketball, you can miss 50 games, or, 20, 30 games or whatever. But in football, man, you're missing 6-7 games a year.
That's
and especially you tear an ACL, recover a whole year now you got a shoulder sprain, 3rd degree that could be out 4 weeks. It's like that mentally messes with somebody, man. You can't tell me that it's not in his head right now.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, man, he might be better off just calling it quits and going into fashion. You know what I'm saying? Going into modeling and shit. Like, he just need to just call it quits because, I mean, if we can get something for him, I'm comfortable with Peoples. I like Peoples Jones. I like Higgins. I like Landry. I don't think we're gonna keep him in Joku. You know what I'm saying? We got some people on the offense that, I mean, we can draft it. I mean, we got that dude Schwartz, the speedster that we used. Where the hell he been? Like, you just don't make me think about it.
It's too many bodies. There's too many bodies on the field for him to be being put in that game yet, I guess. But what are your final thoughts before we jump off here? Any parting shots?
Parting shots. I mean, hey, everybody's gonna get to see what they wanted, man. They've been asking for Baker to be out of there and all these. See, this is what you're gonna see right now, and he can't win. He can't win. It's either Keenum's gonna come in and play great, and everybody's gonna be chirping about, you see, we should have started Keenum and this and that and da. And then, here we go, another quarterback added to the jersey of quarterbacks we've had. Or Keenum plays bad, we have a terrible season, which I don't think any Browns fan wants. And then now look at us, we're in back in the hole again. So, like I said, he can't win, but now people are going to get what they want. They wanted Baker out. We got Keenum starting, and hey man, I'm a Browns fan. I love Baker. I think he's getting a raw deal. But if Keenum comes in and looks good, keep him in. Hey, whatever. As long as we win it, I don't care who's back there, man. I really don't.
All right. So my parting shots is Giants Nation. It's a wrap. Season's over. Fire sale time. Start getting off pieces that if you can get rid of Bradbury, get rid of them. If you, yeah, I want to keep Peppers, I really do. But if you can get something quality for them, sell them off. You need to start. Giants need to start over. They need to start over. They got to start fresh. Gettleman's got to go. It's time. It's time for the Giants to reshuffle that organization. Judge and let Judge stay. Judge has had, he had a good first season with them. I look at this as an aberration. It's not something I don't see that's going to continue going forward. They need to start over. So Giants Nation, just take the L this season. Be happy that you won one game, and prepare for next season. Draft better. You know what I mean? Draft a whole lot better than you have been, and just prepare for a new season. Next year is a whole nother year. And that's the good saying. Cleveland used to say it all the time. There's always next year.
That motto is ingrained into our state flag or our city flag. Always next year.
All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in this episode. I am Francisco.
I'm Chef Boy.
And we will see you next week.